Welcome everyone to the second round of March Madness. This is the 3-seeded Michigan Wolverines, led by Xavier Simpson, Jordan Poole, Charles Matthews, Ignace Brazdeikis, and Jon Teske. He'll be taking on the Loyola Chicago Ramblers, led by Clayton Custer, Marcus Towns, Ahir Uguak, Christian Negron, and Cameron Krutwig. The Ramblers barely beat UCF in the first round, while Michigan beat St. Louis pretty convincingly. The Wolverines made the championship last year, but no longer have some of their key players from that team, like Mo Wagner, Duncan Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Abdur-Rahman, and they're hoping to repeat without those guys, as Xavier Simpson gets it off to Charles Matthews over to Jordan Poole, who had a game winner last year in the second round against Houston, as Ignace Brazdeikis, the freshman, over to Charles Matthews. Mid-ranger danger, it's off. Krutwig with the rebound. Ramblers running the floor as Towns for three. No good. Now remember, these two teams made the Final Four a season ago. Michigan got the win, ending Loyola Chicago's Cinderella run, and the Ramblers would love nothing more but revenge as Matthews' three is off. Not a lot of offense so far in today's game. Towns over to Clayton Custer. Custer now from downtown, and the Ramblers are on the board. Here's Jon Teske with it. He will find Xavier Simpson, who has a wide open lane, and the Wolverines are on the board. It has been a very slow start for both of these offenses. Michigan up by one as Xavier Simpson gets the layup. He now has four. Michigan up by three. Here's Clayton Custer with it. Custer driving. He gets it to Marcus Towns from downtown. Quick release, and it goes in. And Towns ties the game up at 6. Here's Xavier Simpson. He gets it to Matthews, guarded by Uguak. Back to Simpson. Screen from Jon Teske. As Simpson over to Teske, over to Brazdeikis, over to a wide open Xavier Simpson. And Michigan regains the lead. The subs are starting to come in for both teams as Xavier Simpson, who has 7 points so far, guarded by Rashad Pickney. Over to Jordan Poole. Poole, screen from Teske. Poole finds Livers from downtown. Yes! And Michigan will add 3 more to their lead. Wolverines looking good early. Here's Pickney with it. Pickney having trouble with it, and Xavier Simpson gets the steal. Here comes Michigan, and Simpson is good. Offensively, it has been a very ugly start for Loyola as they're trying to run the pick and roll. Here's Negron ending the drought. Loyola Chicago is known as a second-half team. However, they don't want to get into too big of a deficit as they're now down by 10 after the layup from Adrian Nunez. 10-point U of M lead as Pickney for 3. Big bucket for the Ramblers, giving them a little bit of momentum. Not too much time left on the shot clock. Pickney with it. Pickney step back. Splash. It's just a 5-point game all of a sudden. Big shot from Rashad Pickney. Both of these teams are really struggling on the offensive end right now as most of the starters are back in. Holy guacamole, Charles Matthews with Michigan's first bucket in about 3 minutes. And that was a nasty slamma-jamma. Big bucket for Charles Matthews. It gives Michigan momentum, and it will put him on Sports Center as Rashad Pickney now has 8. Or no, he has 9 now, sorry, drilling the 3. He's been really the only good player on offense today for Loyola Chicago. Pretty much all the starters are still in for both teams. A few subs are still in, like Franklin Agunade here, guarding the freshman Iggy Brazdeikis as he gets it to Jordan Poole. Poole, who hit the game winner last year against Michigan to advance his team in the Sweet 16, is blocked by Cameron Krutwig. Here comes the Ramblers as the 2-time Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year. Clayton Custer misses the mid-range shot. Charles Matthews over to Poole, over to a wide-open Brooks, who will hit the layup. Michigan is shooting 46% from the field. Ramblers at just 39%. Their offense definitely hoping to improve. They're only down by 3, though, as they're doing pretty well from 3. Jordan Poole with it, taking his time. Screen from Jon Teske as Poole over to Teske with the two-handed slamma-jamma. 26-24, Clayton Custer starting to heat up as Custer driving by Xavier Simpson like it's nothing, but Jon Teske saying, "Not in my house, young man." Gets the block. Charles Matthews hits the contested layup, and the Wolverines double their lead. The clock is winding down here. Xavier Simpson to beat the buzzer, and he does it. That's how your first half will end. And the Michigan Wolverines are up 31-25 after off of a big shot from Xavier Simpson, who had quite a good start, has been pretty quiet since, but still, definitely good to have that added momentum headed into the locker rooms. Loyola's not going to need a Cinderella comeback, as they're only down by 6, but it's not looking particularly good for them either. Michigan up by 6 as we now enter the second half. I would say they've definitely had control for most of this game, but credit to Loyola for staying in it, as Marcus Towns, his mid-ranger is short. Rebounded by the Wolverines. Here's Iggy Brazakaitis. He misses his shot. Negron with the rebound. Ramblers trying to go down the court quickly as Uguak over to Negron. Pump fake over to Clayton Custer with Simpson in his face. No good. Tipped and rebounded by Cameron Krutwig over to Marcus Towns now for 3. And he bangs it home. It is 33-28 after a pair of free throws from Jordan Poole. As Ramblers passing it around, not too much time left on this shot clock. And there's Cameron Krutwig, the sophomore center, with some authority. As John Teskey, not very good defense on that play. Here comes Marcus Towns running the break over to Ahir Uguak, over to a wide open Clayton Custer to tie the game. His 3 is off. Rebounded by Ignas Brazakaitis. Guarded by Christian Negron. He gets it to Xavier Simpson. Simpson with a wide open lane. He hits the layup. Timeout, Loyola Chicago. Pretty much right when Michigan does something, Loyola Chicago answers right back, as this one has been pretty much close this whole time. Ahir Uguak with it. Uguak over to Rashad Pickney. Pickney for 3, and it's good. And Pickney trims the lead down to just 1. Here's CJ Bard, guarded by Ahir Uguak. Bard with it. Tightly guarded. Not much time left on the shot clock. He's going to have to hope he makes it. And he does not. But David DeJulius gets the rebound. Loyola was not paying attention. Bard with it. Over to a wide open David DeJulius, who misses. Johns with the rebound. Now here's CJ Bard for 3, and he misses. Finally, the Ramblers get a rebound. They are extremely lucky Michigan did not score on that possession. Ahir Uguak open in the corner. He drills the tray ball. And the Ramblers take the lead for probably the first time in a while. Michigan's offense is really struggling right now. They're sort of in a little bit of a hole. And Loyola has taken advantage as they are now winning. David DeJulius floater over Christian Negron. No good. But Isaiah Livers with the rebound. Over to Bard for 3. And the Wolverines take the lead. Big shot right there from CJ Bard, as the Ramblers are doing a very nice job from the outside. Here's Rashad Pickney to regain the lead, and he hits the contested layup. About 7 seconds left here on the shot clock. David DeJulius, step back for the lead. It's good. We have had a tight defensive battle, but with 5.5 minutes to go, it's Michigan up by 3. Custer, deep 3 to tie it, and he drains it. Clayton Custer has 13 points. Meanwhile, Xavier Simpson and Rashad Pickney have 14. Those are the only 3 players for either team who have over double figures, as Izzy Brazakaitis easily getting by Franklin Agunane. No good, but Davis with a nasty slam. He'll give Michigan the lead. Custer just hit a layup to tie the game. He now leads all scorers with 15, as Towns for 3 gets it off quickly, and he hits it. Loyola Chicago takes a 3-point lead. Just under 4 minutes left to go here in this game. Loyola Chicago up by 1. As here's Xavier Simpson with the drive. Simpson gives Michigan the lead. 53-52. Michigan is up. It's now back and forth as Krutwig over to Custer. Over to Lucas Williamson. Williamson back to Custer for 3. He's open and he drills it. Clayton Custer now has 18, sorry. If Loyola Chicago wins this game, it'll be because of their perimeter shooting. They've done an excellent job from deep. As Christian Negron with the block, but Charles Matthews is wide open in the paint, and it's now 55-all. 55-all, a little bit over 2 minutes left to go. This, my friends, is March Madness basketball as John Teskey gets the steal. It's going to be Michigan running the break. Izzy Brazakaitis for the lead. Yes. 57-55. This crowd is rooting for Loyola, and the Ramblers really want to get revenge after last year's Final Four as Jordan Poole misses the shot. Rebounded by Negron. Under a minute and a half left to go. Cameron Krutwig with it. Ramblers passing it around as Clayton Custer for 3, giving them the lead with 1:21 to go. That man is clutch. Last year against Tennessee in the second round, Custer hit a game winner to advance for Ramblers to the Sweet 16 as Iggy Brazkaitis re-gives Michigan the lead just like that. Michigan's biggest lead was by 10 points earlier in the first half, and we've seen 11 lead changes. Lucas Williamson wants to make it 12, and he does that. Under a minute to go, 1 point lead for Loyola. Simpson's floater is no good. Brazkaitis with the rebound over to Charles Matthews. Matthews guarded by Lucas Williamson over to Xavier Simpson. Simpson, screen. Simpson, guarded by Custer. Not much time left on the shot clock. Simpson, he's going to get it to John Teskey for the lead. It's good. Over the back foul on Brazkaitis, but it doesn't matter as Michigan is now up by 2. The big man, John Teskey, with the clutch three-pointer. Loyola down by 2. Nobody in the paint. Custer will tie it up at 35. Or with 35 seconds left, Custer will tie it up at 62 apiece. 62 all. 35 seconds left. This is why we love March Madness so much, everybody. As Simpson, guarded by Custer. Simpson over to Livers for the lead, and he gets it. 64-62. This is it, everybody, for this season. Loyola has been clutch in years past. Custer to Marcus Towns. He hits the three with 69 seconds remaining. Ramblers up by 1. Marcus Towns does it again. He hit the clinching three last year in the Sweet 16 against Nevada, and he hits that one. The Ramblers have hit game-winning shots, but can they get a game-winning stop? Under 7 seconds to go. Here's Xavier Simpson. Simpson for the lead. No good. Livers. Oh my gosh. Michigan takes the lead. Isaiah Livers with .6 remaining. I don't think Loyola can get up a shot in time. .6 remaining. Rashad Pickney for the win. And he hits it. Oh my gosh. No way. Rashad Pickney, the freshman, hits a game-winning shot. If he got it off in time. I don't think I've seen anything like it. 0.6 seconds left. Pickney gets it off at time, and it goes in. Did he release it in time? I don't know if he did. They're giving us a terrible angle. It was awfully close. Why can't we get a better angle? It looked like it was pretty much on the nose. I have no clue who they are going to give it to. Michigan or Loyola. And it looks like they're going to give it to Loyola. Rashad Pickney hits the three. Oh my gosh. The Ramblers are headed to the Sweet 16 with .6 remaining. The freshman, Rashad Pickney. We've seen some crazy buzzer beaters before, but I don't think we've seen anything like this one. Pickney got it off at the split second. And he and his team will take on either Buffalo or Texas Tech in Kansas City. What a game and what a finish. This will never be forgotten in the history of March Madness. Well, after all of those shenanigans, we gotta find out who will be joining the Ramblers in the Sweet 16. Starting off with the East region, it'll be the #1 seeded Duke Blue Devils, coming off a nice one against Syracuse. They'll be taking on Auburn, who just beat Florida. I think this could be a very interesting game. I think Auburn has a chance of an upset. They have a lot of talented players. They're a very deep roster, but at the same time, it's going to be hard to stop the beast in Zion Williamson and the rest of his Blue Devil team. Georgia State was the lowest seed to win in the first round. They beat the 3-seeded Kansas Jayhawks. Their Cinderella story is over as they lose to Mississippi State, who will be taking on Wofford, who just upset Kentucky. So either Mississippi State or Wofford will advance to the Elite Eight, which is absolutely crazy. So the 4 teams in the Sweet 16 of the East region are Duke, Auburn, Mississippi State, and Wofford. Expect Duke to be clear favorites to make the Final Four, but anything's possible. Now on to the South region. Virginia coming off a tough one against Murray State. Despite a triple-double from John Morant, they will be advancing to take on the Villanova Wildcats, who just beat Liberty, who upset Kansas State in round 1. As Villanova, they were champions last year because of floor spacing and their ability on the perimeter, and Virginia is a very similar team. They've sort of done it the same way that Villanova has,
and I could see either team winning this game, but I think Virginia has the better roster, and I'd expect them to win it. Despite Big Ten teams, Minnesota and Ohio State getting upsets in round 1, they will not get another one in round 2, as the 3-seeded Houston will advance to take on the 2-seeded UNC Tar Heels. I think a Virginia-North Carolina Elite 8 matchup would be very intriguing, but I wouldn't be shocked if either of those teams gets upset. So in the South region, the teams in the Sweet 16 are Virginia, North Carolina, Houston, and Villanova. So far, all the 1 seeds have advanced, and that will continue as Gonzaga defeats 9th-seeded Maryland. They will take on LSU, who just beat Oregon in the battle of football schools. I think this could be a very interesting matchup. I'd expect Gonzaga to be heavy favorites. They have a lot more experience. They made the championship a couple years ago. But LSU has a chip on their shoulder, and I won't be surprised if they get the upset. Loyola Chicago was able to beat Michigan in dramatic fashion with a last-second three-pointer from backup freshman point guard Rashad Pickney for the 2nd straight year. They are advancing to the Sweet 16, where they will take on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Texas Tech is a good floor spacing team. They have a lot of talented perimeter players, and I think this will be a challenge for Loyola, but they made it to the Final Four last year, and they absolutely can this year. So in the Midwest, your Sweet 16 is Gonzaga, Texas Tech, LSU, and Loyola Chicago. And then last but not least, we have the West region, as the number 1 seed Michigan State Spartans are also advancing to the Sweet 16, where they will take on Big Ten foe, number 4 seeded Purdue, led by Carson Edwards. Both of these teams have 2 of the most electrifying guards in the country, in Edwards and Cassius Winston, and I think this will be one of the funnest games that we get in the tournament. I wouldn't be surprised if the winner of this game advances to the Final Four. Speaking of the Big Ten, Wisconsin was able to upset Florida State. They will be taking on Tennessee here in the Sweet 16, as Tennessee, the only SEC team, or I guess the only non-Big Ten team, I should say, left here in the West region. So your Sweet 16 in the West is Michigan State, Tennessee, Purdue, and Wisconsin. That'll do it, folks. Next episode will be the Sweet 16 versus Texas Tech. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you have not already. I would expect probably the Diamondbacks to be up today. So, yeah, have a good one.